Hello everyone, here we are with the next part of the chapter number 2nd. We'll discuss the non-communicable diseases in this video. So what are the non-communicable diseases? The diseases which are not spread from person to person are called as non-communicable diseases. They are not carried by the pathogen or anything else. Generally, they are deficiency diseases. So these diseases can be by the improper diet. This can be by the metabolic malfunctioning of the body. It means the body organs are not functioning properly. Third point, it may be an inherited disease. Means the parents of a person have a disease, and this disease is then also there in the children. So these are inherited diseases. All these can be categorized in the non-communicable disease. Also, there are certain diseases which happen in the old age only. So the disease caused by aging, again non-communicable disease. And last one is the mental illness. The improper functioning of the brain is also a non-communicable disease. So on the basis of their cause only, we can classify the non-communicable disease into the different categories. On the basis of their cause, what is the reason for the disease? First type of the non-communicable is degenerative. These are happening due to the malfunctioning of the important organs like the heart, lungs, pancreas, kidneys. Various organs of the bodies are not functioning properly. Then only the disease is happening. These diseases are called as degenerative diseases. Example we will see here: if the pancreas is not working properly, it is not producing the hormone insulin properly, then person suffers from diabetes mellitus. It is also commonly called as blood sugar. Next is a heart attack, uremia, arthritis, cancer. Heart attack, if heart is not working properly, kidney is not working properly, it causes uremia, and so on. Different diseases are there which are caused by the improper functioning or malfunctioning of the body organ. So in case the vital organs are not working properly, then only degenerative diseases can take place. These are the examples of these degenerative diseases. Usually the degenerative diseases are long-term disease. They take a long time to cure. A long treatment is taken from the doctors. That only the disease can be cured. And most of all, it affects adults more than the children. Children are less likely to get affected by this disease. We will study about diabetes mellitus. What is happening in diabetes mellitus is a person has high level of sugar in the blood because the pancreas does not produce enough insulin. Insulin is a chemical hormone which is controlling the sugar level in the blood. If this sugar level is more, then what will happen? This high blood sugar level will produce the symptoms of frequent urination, increased thirst, and hunger. Hunger will increase. Person will be thirsty, more thirsty, and also there will be loss of the body weight. So all these are the symptoms, and depending on the conditions, diabetic patients are they are administered insulin injection. They are provided injections artificially because in the body insulin is not produced. Also the person can be given different medicines. This disease can also exist in families, and it can also develop at any age. Next degenerative disease here is heart attack. In the heart attack, what is happening? The blood supply to the heart muscles are that is obstructed. It is stopped. Obstructed means there is something blockage in between, so it stops there. So then the heart muscles will not work properly because blood is not going to the heart. So heart muscles stop working. They are not working properly. So generally, the person who are having sedentary lifestyle, who are having a work, they have to sit for long hours, they are not physically more active, then this problem may appear. Also the people who are you are taking fat rich food, the fat quantity is more in their food. And finally the people who are more in stress always, they are at a risk of heart attack. All these factors can cause in the improper functioning of the heart. So that is about heart attack. We'll see the next one, that is uremia. It is a disease which is caused due to the malfunctioning of kidneys. In this, the kidneys are failing to function properly, and therefore the waste of the body, it gets accumulated means collected. So the waste will get collected in the blood only, and it causes the disease. The exact function of kidney is to remove the body waste. But if the kidney is not doing that work, kidney is not removing the waste, then what will happen? This waste material will collect in our body only, in our blood. Waste will collect, it will cause blood poisoning, and also various disease will happen. The person can also die as a result of this. Next, now cancer. Cancer is the uncontrolled growth of the certain body cells. Body cells are normally dividing only. New body cells are always formed in our body. But in some people, what is happening? The growth of the body cells is uncontrolled. More than the normal growth of the body cell take place. That only is called as cancer. The cancer cells will eventually destroy the normal cell. They spread to the various organs in different part of the body. If the cancer is detected in earlier stage, then it can be treated, but if it is left untreated, then the person will die. So that is called as cancer. This is abnormal growth of the cell at any part of the body. And it leads to what? It leads to unexplained fever. The person is always in fever without any reason. Night sweating. Next, unintentional weight loss. All these are the symptoms of cancer. So here we have covered the degenerative diseases. Next type of the non-communicable disease here is inherited disease. These are passed on from the families, from one generation to another, from the parents to the children. The disease will pass. Example is hemophilia, thalassemia, sickle cell anemia. All these are the examples. Details are not required at your class level. Only the names you have to learn, the definition you will learn, and the examples you will learn. So the disease which pass from families from one generation to another are inherited disease. The disease which are caused by the malfunctioning of vital organs, they are degenerative diseases. Both the definitions you have to learn with the examples of these diseases. Now we'll see allergies. These are also non-communicable disease. So the defense system of our body, the immunity of our body, that is the immune system, it protects our body. It gives protection from various infection. But in some people, what is happening? Due to some of the reasons, the defense system becomes weak. The immune system is weak. It does not work properly, and it causes abnormal response. It causes abnormal response, which is called as allergy. So this is you'll study more details in the next class 7. So abnormal response of the immune system is called as allergy. Example is asthma, that is a respiratory disease, hay fever, food allergy, and these are all different types of the allergies people are having. Next, we will see here dietary deficiency. Dietary means the person is having a shortage of a particular nutrient in the food. So the disease which are caused by the deficiency of essential protein, vitamin, mineral in the diet for a prolonged period of time. If for a long period of time person is not getting any protein, any vitamin or any mineral, any one of these in the food, if it is not given for a long period of time, it leads to dietary deficiency diseases. Let us see about this protein deficiency disease. First we will see kwashiorkor and marasmus are the examples of protein deficiency diseases. Next is vitamin deficiency causes scurvy, pellagra, night blindness, beriberi. All these are vitamin deficiency diseases. What is happening in this we will see in the tables, upcoming tables right now only. So let us move on to the table 7.2. These are the vitamin deficiency diseases. You have to learn this table. Vitamin A, also called as retinol. So it causes night blindness or drying of the cornea. Sources, these are the food sources where we can get protein. Not protein, we can get vitamin A. What is the function of vitamin A? It causes normal growth in the children, body growth, good vision, our eyes are healthy skin and the hair. So all these can be healthy if vitamin A is provided. If it is not given, then night blindness is the disease that can happen. Also drying of the cornea can be there. Cornea is present in our eyes. Next is vitamin B1, that is also called as thiamine. Thiamine deficiency cause beriberi. What is the function of thiamine or vitamin B? That is normal functioning of heart and nervous system. Sources are given here, food sources you can see here. Next is vitamin B3 called as niacin. That is the common name, niacin. Its deficiency causes pellagra or dermatitis. Dermatitis is a skin infection. That is written in brackets, skin inflammation. Inflammation means infection. So dermatitis is a skin infection only caused by the deficiency of vitamin B3. If vitamin B3 is there, then what its function is? It prevents appetite loss, means the person will get proper appetite, will feel hungry at normal times. Now, so in the case vitamin B3 is not given, person has hunger loss. Appetite loss is there, person does not feel hungry and the person becomes weak and weak. And next aids nervous system. It supports the nervous system. Food conversion to get energy, converts the food into energy, helps in that. That is vitamin B3. Next, now vitamin C, also called as ascorbic acid. Shortage of vitamin C cause scurvy, that is bleeding gums. The function of vitamin C is it builds strong body cells and blood vessels also are strong. It is present in citrus fruits. Citrus fruits like orange is one of the citrus fruits. Lemon is another citrus fruits. So all these are having vitamin C. Next remaining source you can read here: green vegetables, cabbage, tomatoes. All these berries are their vitamin C sources. Next one is vitamin D, called as calciferol. Its shortage causes rickets in the childhood. In the children it happens. What is happening in this? Bones will become soft, they will become brittle easily, the bone can break, it can fracture easily. So it is present in fortified milk, cod liver oil. Salmon is a fish. Salmon is a fish. Tuna and egg yolk, all these are non-vegetarian foods. So what is the function of vitamin D? It helps to build strong bones. So these are all about the vitamins we have discussed. Remaining are the mineral deficiency diseases. These are anemia and the goiter. So let us see table 7.3. Some mineral deficiency diseases are given here. We will read through this here fastly. Calcium is one of the mineral. Its deficiency cause weak bones. The bones become weak and brittle. Also the teeth become weak. So bones and teeth are healthy and strong if we are getting calcium. From where we will get calcium? Sources you can read from here: milk product, leafy green vegetable, cheese, peanuts, dried beans. All these contain calcium. So calcium function is formation of strong bones. Also it is helping in blood clotting. Blood clotting means if you get injured, blood will flow there, but after some time blood stops to flow. That is, blood clotting has taken place. But if calcium is not there, then blood clotting will also be not taking place properly. So therefore it will be problem. So now iodine deficiency disease is goiter. Iodine is present in the iodized table salt, and also it is present in the seafood, in the fishes and all. It is used to make thyroxine hormone, and it promotes the growth of the body. Next is iron. Shortage of this disease, deficiency of this iron causes the disease anemia. It is present in the liver, lean meat, raisins, beans, peas, whole grain products and egg yolk. It is helping in formation of hemoglobin in red blood cells. Next, now we'll see potassium and sodium. These are the minerals which deficiency cause dehydration. The person will vomit very frequently. The person will have loose motions in the shortage of this case. That is dehydration. Dehydration is what? It is loss of water from the body of a person. It can be through urination, it can be through vomiting, it can be through loose motions. So that is all dehydration. External weakness will be there. Person body will become very weak, and pain will be there in the muscle contraction. Means when the body movement is there, the person body is having pain. It is present in potassium and sodium present in banana, orange, juicy and leafy vegetables, carrot, table salt and cheese. All these are the food items where you can get potassium and sodium. So it helps in maintaining the fluid level in cells. Fluid means the liquid in the cell is maintained. It helps in conducting nerve impulses and eliminating the waste of the body. So all these are the minerals and the vitamins we have seen, and the related diseases. You have to learn them. At least you learn the mineral and its deficiency disease, and also you have to learn the vitamin and its deficiency disease. So that at least this much you have to learn from this table. We will now move on to the next part: how to prevent these non-communicable disease. So these are the consequences. These are the result of consequence means result. These are the result of what? These are the result of improper body functioning. They are not communicable. They cannot transfer from one person to another. So if we follow this preventive measure, definitely we will not get these diseases. First is we should at least do 30 minutes exercise every day, because physical activity will remove this disease causing germs through the sweat, and also it will make our body strong. Next is we should do yoga every day. Yoga is good for our both for our body as well as our mind. It prevents various diseases. Next is daily bath, regular. Every day you should take bath, because it keeps our skin free from the disease causing germs. Next is we should wear clean clothes always, so that any kind of infection cannot take place. Next is we should wash our hands frequently, because mostly we are touching different things, and these germs can be present on our hand, and through our hands when we are eating something, they can enter our body. So always you should wash your hands. Whether you are eating something or not, make it a habit to regularly wash your hands after every few minutes, minimum after every 30 minutes wash your hands. Next, we should eat healthy and balanced diet. to keep us fit. Healthy and balanced diet means our diet should have all the kind of nutrients in that. We should not be selective in our food. Whether you like or not like any food item, you should eat it for the sake of your good health only. So next, now we should eat fresh fruits and vegetables because they provide us vitamins and minerals. Not only the junk food should not be taken, instead we should use the fruits and the vegetable. That is all about this part. Here's some extra point given here. Symptoms of a healthy person. We can identify the person is healthy by the color of the nails. The healthy person has pink nails, and these nails appear strong. In case the color is changed, that means the person is about to get sick or having any disease. Pale yellow urine. This is the normal color of the urine, pale yellow. If it becomes darker, then or it becomes lighter, then there may be a problem in the body. Heart rate. Normally heart beats 70 to 75 times per minute. If it increases or decreases, there may be a problem of heart disease. Next, elastic skin. The skin should be elastic, means if you pinch the hand of the skin, it should come back to its original form in a slow manner. So in a normal manner. If it is happening slowly, if you pinch the skin of your hand and it is returning very slowly, returning to its place very slowly, it means you are having dehydration. Your body is having less water. You should drink more water, or your body needs some more minerals. Sodium and potassium are less in your body. So these are the symptoms of healthy person. That is all. We will now move on to the difference between 7.4 table is given here. Communicable and non-communicable, let us compare. First point, the communicable are transmitted. They are transferred from one person to another through various agents. Different agents are there. We have seen that in the previous video. Non-communicable are not transferred in this manner. They cannot move from one person to another. There are no agents involved here. Second point, the disease caused by the pathogens. These are the agents only. Pathogens, that is bacteria, virus, protozoa, worms, etc. On the other side, the disease are caused due to the deficiency of elements. There are deficiency disease, protein deficiency disease, vitamin deficiency disease, or mineral deficiency disease. It can also happen by the improper diet, allergic reaction. Different allergies can be there. It can happen due to aging. Aging means due to the old age. Different diseases can happen. They are all non-communicable disease. So that is all. We have completed the part of the communicable and the non-communicable. In the upcoming video, this will be starting from the topic of hygiene. That is all for this video. Still any doubts in these topics, you can post your queries in comment section below, or you can message me in the Teams app using the personal chat option. Thank you for now.